Yes, perfect. Can you see my screen? So is that already working? All right. So yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite. It's a pleasure to give you just a quick insight what we are doing here, especially in terms of innovation management. I'm just give a quick insight and just let me know if you have any questions. Then I'm happy to answer it. So yeah, just a short introduction to our company. So we are an innovation management company. Our headquarters is in Vienna, in Austria, so the capital or in the middle of Europe. Um, we have a vision as innovation managers. Our company is more than 20 years on the market, and we have a vision that we believe in a better world through innovation. So we think that this could be a key or will be a key also for our upcoming topics and problems and challenges that we have in our terms of humanity. And our mission is that we operationalize innovation management, especially also for corporates, for companies, and we want to transfer it from a cost center to profit center. Very often, a lot of our clients say that innovation management costs a lot of money because they need to develop something, they need to invent something. In the beginning, of course, it costs something, but it will also hopefully pay your debts or your salaries at the end. And the company itself, so more than 20 years on the market, we have more than 300 innovation projects done globally. We have a lead user network worldwide with around 20,000 or more than 20,000 lead users in it. Head office is in Vienna, Austria, and we have some international partners, especially also in the United States with Frying Together in Melville, and two partners also in the GCC. Where one is in Qatar, one is in Bahrain, because also this is a good hub from Europe, especially to Asia or to the Asian or to the Far East. So we can connect really easy also to these clients and these types of projects. Why lead? So the name itself is established by the lead user methodology. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's one of the MIT's methodology in terms of open innovation. There are two great books that I can really recommend or advise to you. Democratizing Innovation, The Sources of Innovation. So Professor Eric von Hippel was the godfather of the lead user methodology, and he found out that the really big breakthrough innovations and their sources were always when the user itself brought in the idea. So that when the ones struggling with products, with services, using them every day are mostly, or in many cases, the source of the big innovation at the end. Our typical clients or corporates, I'm not sure if you're familiar with one of them. So companies, probably 1,000 employees, starting up to biggest client is 600,000 employees. It's in the automotive industry. And so we don't focus on an industry, so we always have like a methodology focus on our project. So that is mainly I would say, our baseline. And our framework, how we work, because now you saw these clients and they have different challenges to solve. So that's not the capability of a small team like we are as a boutique consultancy, if we say. Then we have established a network of the lead user expert community, science and knowledge transfer that we bring in from universities. We have our corporate partners. They always are a big part of the network. We have partners in terms of software solutions, in terms of AI that we nowadays can use, and we have a good connection to startups and have our own venture building establishment in our company. Three pillars that I want to showcase just in a nutshell what lead innovation is capable of and how we do our project. So we have three pillars of innovation management. One is really the organizational part, the strategic part, and the innovation part itself, where everything is about the invention itself and bringing it to the market. And our overview of services in terms of organization, We work a lot with holistic innovation management. There's an ISO for innovation management, really interesting also for companies to give like an audit for them so that they can do like a self-assessment and find their path. Where are they really good into, and where are they struggling with in the reality or in practice with innovation management? We work a lot on the topic of innovation culture. So really bringing people from an organization into the mood and the mood of innovation, and that they get hungry for bringing in their ideas. Also, there's this term of entrepreneurship programs that we host for companies. We develop a lot of innovation processes for companies, so really fitted or customized innovation processes for companies that work for them. And we help innovation departments with their ramp up, so that they can really start from the beginning. And you can see here some kind of processes. This on the right side here. This was for a construction company with around 20,000 employees. This is like a book that every employee will get when they start in the companies, and this is like a description for how you as an employee can participate within this company in terms of innovation. Just an outline of the program skills that we do in the entrepreneur programs, from how to open innovation up to doing foresight management within the company. So this is just a brief overview. Second part, strategy. This is also really interesting, but whenever you have like the basement for your innovation department, then you need to have a look what is the next upcoming big thing or the next trend that you can catch. So we do a lot of trend reports for our partners. We do their innovation roadmaps that they have like a guided innovation strategy, and we measure their success with KPIs so that nobody can say they are not successful with their activities. And just a brief overview also to the platform that we use here in terms of foresighting and road mapping. We use a platform. We have also a partner from Austria here. That's you're all familiar with Gen AI, I'm sure, because that is really an invention, I would say, from the United States. So Gen AI, like ChatGPT or Copilot. And there are some other types of AI that we use. It's Synth AI and predictive AI, and it's much more suitable for going into foresight management. And we have like these AI scouts that we use to get a deeper understanding of how signals, how many patterns are established within a technology, so that you really can understand if it's uprising or if it's just a hype and not a trend. Third pillar is the innovation part, and that's when when we first connected to Brian. So that was during COVID, I think 2020, 2021. We had our cooperation started with Brian in the United States. Here it's all about really fast prototyping. So whenever we get the feedback from the lead users, we include the lead users very often in the invention step. And we do really fast prototyping. So you can see here some different types of prototypes. It could be a digital prototype, software-based. It can be a really hardware prototype. And the first project when I started with Brian in the United States was during COVID, and it was a totally online session because we were not allowed to travel to the United States, and everyone was in lockdown mode. And we worked for the company Stihl. It's a German company, also around 20,000 employees. And they asked us to support the topic of thread management for battery-powered lawn trimmers. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with gardening and with these spools and these yarns, and you go to trim your lawn. And it's a big struggle whenever you lose your lawn. So you have to find the right technique that you can change it. And we started having a look how can we support them, and we we searched lead users for them. Then we did the moderation, facilitation, and guided the creativity process with them. We did all the illustrations, so we always have illustrators on board. So they're doing the CAD work, and we do a really good documentation so that not a single idea can that we lose a good idea at the end. And we started finding the customer pain, so with the lead user methodology, and we had like different priorities at the end for getting into the lead user search. And here, just an insight how what's the effort to get to really lead users in that field of that lawn mowing that we had, and this yarn management that we wanted to achieve. We had 407 contacts in the United States. Then we had 51 in interview state. Then with 19, we proceeded to the next stage, go really into detail where we talked about ideas, where we talked about their first really solutions. And we presented out of these 19 interviews, 15 to the team of Steel. So that was a really big drop or a very steep funnel. And at the end, we decided to invite 6 of them to the lead user conference. So that was the workshop that was hosted by us for getting the creativity done. And here's just the profile that we do on the way to present it also in front of our clients. Here you can see the guys that we had decided to bring in for the lead user conference. You see what they're capable of, what are their characteristics. So how do we, as I would say, external professionals, evaluate the person? Is he suitable for a workshop? What was the quality of the ideas? And these people, we challenge them also in these interviews to be really creative. So they bring in their ideas. So you can see really that they have a big thing thinking about this problem that they have every time when they use their lawn trimmer. And they bring in their ideas. And yeah, this is like how we select at the end who will contribute and work together with Steel at the project at the lead user conference. Yeah, this is just an outline of, I cannot show you a lot of details of this project, but just that you get a feeling. This is all done in between, so all the creativity sessions are running, and the illustrators, and they do their work really on time. So really, whenever they get the idea, then they start drawing it, then they start simulating it, if it's working, if it's not working. So we really go into detail within these 2 or 3 days of creativity sessions that we have with the lead users here, especially for that topic. So this was just an insight to the project of Steel that we did with Brian and the guys from the United States. It was really interesting to see because they had totally different things when they care about their lawn than the Europeans had, and this was really impressive to see that there is a big change or a big difference also in how precise. I would always say that I'm in love with how precise the American lawns are in comparison to the European one. So that was really a good thing. So and also another project I can talk about is how will the future of firefighting look like. This was a cool project with a lot of new upcoming challenges in terms of firefighting. We have a lot of EVs in the market. What is when an EV going into a tunnel and it starts to burn, then all the firefighters are really challenged to solve that problem. And this is was the invention of the so-called DAF. That's and like an autonomous robot for firefighting. It was in the beginning a snow machine. I'm not sure if you're familiar with snow blowing machines that you use to go skiing, and this is used for firefighting. And the machinery can go like autonomously into an area where the big heat is, and starts to fight the fire before people going in. So it's really a big advantage in professional and upcoming firefighting. A project we are at the moment in is how can we safely protect one of Europe's largest rivers from flooding. So this is also a big challenge in terms of changes in the environment. How can we optimize construction in the high-rise area? This is also a project very internationally with all the big cities having skyscrapers and high-rise buildings. And we did our own innovation during COVID pandemic because we thought we can contribute or we can help the world to get rid of COVID faster than we expected, or not faster than we expected. We developed the PCR test that you can gargle, so 60 seconds of gargling. You connect it to the platform, you drop it off in front of the supermarket or in front of schools or in front of the pharmacy. And in the beginning, there was a logistics model running that collected all these samples, brought it to the next laboratory, and you received your PCR test result within 8 hours. And this is just a picture of how it looked like in one of these laboratories with all these COVID samples. And we did just in the city of Vienna around 60 million of PCR tests with this type of product and software solution. 3 pillars. So just a brief insight to the world of lead innovation and my work and the team's work. Do you have any questions? Just
Thank you so
free.
much, Daniel, for the over. Brian, go ahead.
Oh, it's so interesting because when I first met Daniel, I'm an inventor. I do all these things, but getting deeper into what it is that you're making decisions on is really what the basis and the foundation of what we're learning in your class, but also like what Daniel does for a living every single day. And this is the type of stuff that excites me, like to be able to solve problems, but not just figuring things out just on your own, but to actually dig deeper into all these different pillars of innovation and understanding what it is that the person or the company or the city, whatever they need to be able to get the answers that you're looking for.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
So I'd like to ask specifically if you could elaborate on, because a lot of our students in this course are really entrepreneurs. They've identified an issue and opportunity within their organization and are working on that. And in many cases, they're like the sole person that's excited about this and trying to move it forward and running into a lot of obstacles along the way and bringing others along. And they've made a lot of progress, but can you talk through what that looks like on your end?
Yeah. We are called lead innovation. So, but at the end, it's not about the leader, it's about the follower, to be honest, because there is a great TED talk that inspires me every day when I'm in the mood of thinking, oh, how can we get rid of this problem? And I think it was Ted Sivers, and How to Make a Movement is the TED speech called. So you can find it on YouTube, and it showcases how that it's more important to have a first follower if you have a crazy idea, because in the beginning you're always the guy, or you're also the teams within the corporates. They start thinking about an idea, and some of them are saying, I don't believe in that idea. So that's the first thing that we or that humans are tend to, that they say, I don't trust in something new, or I'm not committed to the idea. It will change our whole business up. But I think it's needed that you have like first followers that are going with you through all these stages of innovation. And believe me, when we started thinking about doing a medical product as and consultancy company, because all the doctors, all the laboratories told that it's not possible that we get it licensed as a medical product, and we did it in 2.5 months. So it was 2.5 months. It was one of the fastest medical products on the market in Europe these days, and all the experts told us it's not possible to. And I think that is the big thing I can only give to all of you, that you will always have people saying your idea is not working, and I think you should think about it, but you should not forget about the purpose, and you should not forget about your first thought why this idea was upcoming. And if you find your first follower sometimes it's an investor, sometimes it's a colleague that is supporting the idea, then just don't stop. Also, whenever you have tears in your eyes, and I think that's a typical thing. Yeah.
I have a question. Daniel, let's say you start working and looking to solve an issue, problem, challenge, whatever you call it, and you're going down a certain path, and you don't know if it's the right or the wrong path. How do you know when to stop, call it quits, start again? What's that turning point for you?
Yeah. It's difficult because we see sometimes it's good to do a pause, or to just give it a rest, when it's needed. We see a lot of ideas are too early on the market, so for the mass market, and that's what also the lead users are capable of, because they are ahead of the trend. They have a problem that they want to get solved or want to get rid of today, but the inventor itself is way ahead of the trend, and I think very often innovation is failing because it's too early. So the market is not looking for that solution. So there need to be a demand at the beginning. So we always say it's good to have technology readiness is the one thing, so that the technology is ready, so that you can also have a scalable business model at the end. And the other thing is that you have a little bit of a market demand that is asking for a solution. If there is no market demand and you only push technology, it's much harder, to be honest, and it costs a lot more than whenever there is a little bit of a market that is asking for a solution. Okay. So if you're not certain, I recommend talk to your possible clients or talk to potential customers and try to find out if there is a demand, or when there is no demand, then I would say it's much more cost effective at the end.
How about questions from anybody else?
Extra credit, right? Extra points.
Well, we'll close here then. Daniel, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. I will share with all of you the recording of this video. Again, really cool work. And again, we're going through it. We're all practicing, but hearing from somebody like you who is doing this full time and working with large organizations, it's really helpful. It's inspiring. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure. And enjoy I think you're going into break in a few weeks. So thank you so much. Going into holidays. And yeah, be successful.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Have a great day, everybody. See ya.